Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Murk here, back at you with some more Draft League content. This is NPCC Season 3, Week 3, against Nate, or Mewtwo fan Nate, and his New York Noiverns. Make sure to go check him out, he's a cool guy. And he's sitting at 1-1. He's in our division or conference or whatever it is. I don't know the names of them or anything, but we're interdivision or whatever, so that means we have to play him twice this season, and might as well tell you what his team is real quick. He has Kartana, Rotom Wash, Chandelure, Togekiss, Flygon, Mesprit, Hitmonlee, Drapion, Armaldo, Lycanroc, Day, and Levani. His 3 Z-move users are Chandelure, Flygon, and Lycanroc. So, quick rundown of my team. I've got AV Hariyama for Chandelure because Z Sunny Day is a threat. Then I've got Calmon, Chocoberry, Tapu Koko, Life Orb, All Out Attack, Zygarde, Sub Focus Punch Weavile for the Rotom and the Kartana, and then just bulky Skarm and Crest because, you know, you need bulky stuff. So I saw at Team Preview that basically Cresselia is never going to do anything in this game because he brought 4 counters to it with the Drapion, Chandelure, Armaldo, and Levani, so he was having none of it. He did not want Cresselia to get any ground in this game, and my Crest set can't touch a Drapion. I knew that coming into it, but I knew I could deal with a Drapion because I've got like Skarmory, which can check it, and I've got my dog, which can come in and do a lot. So I'm gonna lead off with Hariyama because I didn't want his Chandelure like setting up a Z Sunny Day turn 1 and fucking my team in the ass, and Hariyama is my dedicated answer to that because I noticed that Skarm and Crest totally get shredded by that, and so does like Jellicent and even Stunfisk. So he's going to lead off with his Lycanroc, so that probably makes me think that he's probably Sash, and Lycanroc really can't do anything to a Hariyama, as he is just going to lay up his Stealth Rocks, and knowing that this thing has Stealth Rocks tells me a few things. One, well, first I'm going to go for the Heavy Slam and break his Sash, so he is Sash lead, so that means that he's not running rocks on his Mesprit or his Armaldo, so that makes me think Armaldo's probably like Assault Vest, and Mesprit's probably some sort of offensive set because Mesprit does have a nice offensive matchup against me. He's going to go for the Stone Edge here. He hits it as I just go for the knockoff to take him out. I didn't have Bullet Punch or anything, so you'll see my coverage and you can and stuff. He goes into the Mesprit here, and I'm just going to hard switch into Crest because even if he has something loopy to take me on, I don't need Crest at all in this game. It just doesn't do anything. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball right here, and he shows that he is actually Choice Specs, as that's an easy 2-hit KO. Now here I'm going to make a bad play, and I played this way too fast, and I didn't bother to run the calcs. This is obviously Choice Specs Mesprit. I could tell just by the damage, but what I didn't check was how much Shadow Ball is going to be doing to my Skarmory. So I'm just going to hard switch into Skarm because I didn't want to sack Crest, because reasons, and I thought this would be a good chance to get my hazards up and stuff. So he's gonna go for the Shadow Ball. I was like, oh shit, that could 2-hit KO me, and like after I clicked the button, I ran the calc. I was like, oh no, this is gonna 2-hit KO me, but luckily he's gonna go for another Shadow Ball, and fortunately for me, I did invest enough Spadef so that I could live that on 5, and I'm gonna be able to get a Roost off right here. So my 2 plays were I was either gonna switch out into Weavile, or I was going to spam Roost, and I just said spam Roost was fine because he can't knock me out unless he gets a crit, and I want to get my Skarm back healthy because it's really nice against his team because it walls like most of it, and he's gonna go ahead and get a crit. I said, okay, don't get a crit here, I'm gonna go for the Roost, and like I kind of felt like he was gonna get a crit, and he just did it. So now I'm gonna go into my Weavile here, and I feel like the Drapion or the Armaldo is gonna be like Fizz Def to come take me on, so I'm gonna click Focus Punch here to try and catch that, except he's gonna stay in and click Shadow Ball, fearing me to have Pursuit. So the second I saw that, I got like super thrown because I was so hyped on clicking Focus Punch and he ruined it, but then I was like, okay, he's just fearing the Pursuit, so I'm gonna click Knockoff now as he really doesn't want to get Pursuit trapped, and I guess he wanted to get chip damage off on the Weavile or something like that. Anyways, I get rid of the Mesprit, which I don't agree with that play particularly by him, but that's fine with me, and now he's gonna bring in Chandelure. Now this tells me he's either bluffing, he's Choice Scarfed, or he is like Z-move bulky or a Colbur Berry. And to any of those, I can just go into Hariyama, as he's gonna go for the Willow and miss, which is unfortunate. I am thick fat, but then he's gonna go for the Toxic, which is interesting. Willow would have been the better play because it would have cut my attack, as I'm going to go for, oh my goodness, it's freezing. I'm going to go for the knockoff here, as I did see after Will-O-Wisp, like, yeah, you were definitely Colbur Berry, and that shows that he is like max defense Chandelure. So after I see him have double status, I know for a fact that he's gonna have Hex, but I'm pretty confident that Hariyama's gonna live this hit, because this Hariyama is meant to like take 2 spec Shadow Balls, and yeah, that Hex basically does no damage. As I'm just gonna be able to go for the EQ, and he's Fizz Def, so I don't kill him, which is a little unfortunate. However, that's kind of good, because after I lost Skarmory, which did have Defog, I basically had to play really aggressively so that I could make sure to always pressure his Leavanny so that he didn't get his sticky webs up, because if he does have sticky webs and he got them up, I would be in a really bad spot. So I'm going to go right into my Tapu Koko, and because I know he's like bulky with Hex, he can't do a lot of damage, so I'm just going to go right for the Calm Mind, because I can get a little something going with this thing, and if he misses a status move or something like that, or he just goes right for the Hex, then I'm in a fantastic spot. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind. I figured he'd be like Assault Vest on his Armaldo to check this thing, and that's why I'm really glad I have Shuka Berry in this game so that I can take an EQ. He does go for the Will-O-Wisp, which covered if I was like physical or something and I missed. I don't know, whatever. I probably would have Toxic myself, but Will-O-Wisp is fine, and now I'm just going to click Thunderbolt and get rid of his Chandelure. So having this thing at +1 is nice, because it basically forces his hand to show me like what his Assault Vest user is, because I thought he'd be like Assault Vest Drapion or Assault Vest Armaldo, or maybe even both, but he's going to go into Armaldo, and also tells me he's most likely not Scarf Drapion or anything like that. As I'm going to go for the T-Bolt, I'm going to drop that shit, and it does half, showing these Assault Vests as he goes for the EQ, and this is just working out perfectly for me. I'm going to be able to eat this hit and then be able to knock him out with the second one, pending on the rolls, of course, but this puts me in a great spot, because even though I got a little unlucky early and I got thrown around and let my Weavile take some unnecessary damage and stuff, I'm back in the driver's seat, and I'm going to go for the T-Bolt and not knock it out, because it lived on 1, because max and min rolls and stuff are really fun. This game is jumping around, it's really slow for me, so I apologize if it's looking like it's not going to. I know this. Anyways, my thing dies, but this is okay, because I can just bring in my Zygarde and get the kill with 1,000 arrows. And this is coming down to crunch time, because I have 3 Mons left and he has 3 Mons left, and it really just depends on what his Leavanny and Drapion sets are, because I do have Stone Edge, and Stone Edge can knock out his Leavanny, and I don't know if he's going to be Focus Sash, and because he didn't bring his Drapion earlier to try and revenge kill Tapu Koko, I feel like it's not like Scarf. So anyways, I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge here, because I have to knock it out, and this was like, I had a chance to not knock it out, but it was definitely in my favor to kill. And of course, Maggie Zygarde, I don't have the nickname this week because the game's a butt. I'm gonna get the roll and knock out the thing, and all he has left is Drapion, so I don't think he could win unless he's something wild, and I'm just going to go for the 1,000 arrows. I'm not going to knock him out, showing that he's like max HP, and that means that he's going to be able to get a hit off on my Zygarde, except that the game is going to reward me for being lucky and bad, and I'm going to dodge an Ice Fang and be able to knock out with this Drapion with an Outrage and get the 3-0. So if he hit the thing, then I would have just gone into Weavile and picked up the last kill, but Zygarde doesn't want to die, so I will not let Zygarde die. So now it's 5-0 in the season, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, that was a game. It was a pretty good game, definitely a little luck based, but a really fast, thrilling kind of battle. 20 turns, not like the 250 turn battles where Crest just kind of sat there, which is a nice change of pace for once. He definitely prepped for the Cresselia like a lot. He brought 5 things that could hit it super effectively, 4 things which had type advantage on it, so that's just insane. But we're going to pick up a 3-0, move on to 3-0 with a +12 differential, which is pretty groovy, and I don't know who we play next week, but you'll see the battle coming next Saturday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, drop a like, talk about what you thought in this game or something like that, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.